What's good, guys? Welcome back to All About Arsenal. And the question is today, no clickbait, could Paul Pogba be coming to the Emirates? And I know what you're thinking, sounds far-fetched, but let's go into it. Right, so there's been news from football.london that Arsenal have been told to make a big gamble in the transfer market and make a move to bring Paul Pogba to the Emirates Stadium. The 32-year-old has not played professionally in over a year after being suspended in September 2023 due to a failed drug test while at Juventus. In February 2024, he was handed a 4-year ban by the Italian anti-doping national tribunal, which threatened to end his career. However, early this month, the midfielder had that ban reduced to 18 months on an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, with the court finding that the midfielder's ingestion of a prohibited substance was not intentional. Pogba will be allowed to begin training from January 2025 with a return to action in March. And he says in his own words, finally the nightmare's over. I can look forward to the day when I can follow my dreams again, Pogba said in a statement after the verdict. Right. He also goes on to say, I always stated that I never knowingly breached World Anti-Doping Agency regulations when I took a nutritional supplement prescribed to me by my doctor, which does not affect or enhance the performance of male athletes. So this is what's so interesting, right? He's taken a drug, it's found in his system, and he's been banned anti-doping. They've said, listen, you've cheated, get out of here. However, it looks like that decision has been either overturned or he's received a reduced sentence in a sense. At first, I kind of thought, how many athletes, especially sprinters, have been caught for doping and illegally taking substances they're not supposed to take? Many. So at first, like many others, I thought, what's Paul Pogba actually trying? But then I actually started to think about it a bit more. And check this out. When you're involving your doctor, and I think we all do this naturally we have an inclination to trust our doctors. When you hear the word doctor, when you say the DR in front of someone's name, there's this automatic trust. There's a reliance that this person is legit. They know what they're doing, especially because we know the amount of time and commitment it takes to be a doctor. So when I was thinking about that in my head, I thought possibly, and like, let's be honest, football is not like sprinting, right? You're not going to get clear advantages doing dope or taking illegal drugs. The only things that it might, improve your stamina or boost your strength, but you don't really get the best out of it in football. You probably get the best out of it when it's pretty much one-on-one competitions, like if it's tennis or sprinting, for example, which you can see drugs can really, really make the difference between the loser and the winner. Let's go on to what Paul Pogba says. He says, I always stated that I never knowingly breached World Anti-Doping Agency, blah, blah, blah. He says, I play with integrity, and although I must accept that this is a strict liability offence, I want to place on record my thanks to the Court of Arbitration for Sports judges who heard my explanations. Despite his ban being reduced, Pogba looks set to leave Juventus early January. Reports in Italy following the court decision suggested the club were in talks about mutually ending his contract, giving him the opportunity to join a new team on a free transfer in January. Okay, interesting news about Paul Pogba. Now, a couple of things. So where did this Arsenal rumour come about? Emmanuel Petit, one of the Arsenal legends, he's made a plea to Mikel Arteta that, you know what, you need to get Paul Pogba. Of course, it looks like he's standing in the gap for his fellow French football companion, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of makes sense. Paul Pogba's had a pretty much of a hard time of it. But we all know how successful Paul Pogba was. I mean, if you look at what he's able to achieve as a World Cup winner, Champions League winner, he's won the Europa, he's won various Serie A titles. He was pretty, he had a decent run at Manchester United. He wasn't at his best at Man United, but he did all right. I think he won the Europa League there and EFL Cup with Man United at the time. So he's an experienced player. So I can see why Emmanuel Petit will be kind of cautioning Mikel Arteta to go down that route. Question is, would Paul Pogba actually fit into Arsenal? Only thing that goes against him is his age. He's currently 31. He's going to be 32 soon. So, based upon that, I don't see it happening. You could probably only get 1 or 2 seasons out of him, depending on how fit he is. But Paul Pogba is a name that is known. Number 2, Arsenal are known for taking, I don't want to say this word, but rejected players. We came and we got the likes of Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. We went for Kai Havertz, and look how he's turned out to be from Chelsea, and Raheem Sterling. So Arsenal was known for, I don't want to say this word, but taking in the strays and patching them up, transforming them, instilling confidence and getting them back to their winning ways or their best ways. So I can see a potential for that actually happening based upon that. Would he fit into the style of play at Arsenal? So if you can look on the screen, you can see that his preferred positions, defensive midfielder and attacking left midfielder, attacking midfielder and central midfielder. Now, defensive midfield, in the defensive midfield region, we're stacked. We've got Marino, we've got Partey, we've got Rice. But Thomas Partey's done so well at right back. I believe, I'm sorry, I know I'm going on a tangent, but at right back, Thomas Partey against Luis Diaz, I think that's been his best performance in a long time. And that was Thomas Partey out of position. So why am I mentioning that? With him able to and showing he can play in that position, it might mean there's a bit of openings for the defensive midfielder position. So we already have Thomas Partey, we've got Declan Rice and we've got Marino. But where we struggle is on the left-hand side, as you can see on the screen. Marino is filling that in, he's still settling in, but Paul Pogba is experienced, he's played in the Premier League twice, I believe. I believe he captained Manchester United when he was about 21 years old. I believe that was the fact, yeah, he did. So he's got experience. But the question is, would Arsenal really go for a player like this? Especially because he's pretty much in his prime. So would that be an actual good move for Arsenal? On a free transfer, God knows how much he'll be demanding his wages. And we know you know what, I don't know what's actually happened at Juventus in regards to his contract. Because of the doping, is there a clause that basically says that he gets half of his wages a quarter? I don't know how it works. I have no idea. On a free transfer, 32 years old, I think he should be clever. I don't see him demanding a lot of wages. How many teams are going to be interested? I believe Los Angeles, I forgot what they call by that team in America, the Los Angeles one popular. Marseille, so he might go back to France. They're also interested in him. And a Saudi club. It's pretty much looking he's going to go to a Saudi club. I don't see Arsenal going for him, even though Emmanuel Petit is pleading. However, caveat, Paul Pogba is a very creative player, and we've lacked creativity, especially with Odegaard being out. Check this. Odegaard, and I'll get into that, Odegaard is due to come back in a few weeks, probably 2 weeks. And you don't know how sharp he's going to be once he returns. That'll be probably first week November, mid-November. The January transfer window is around the corner. Would it make sense? And I believe Arteta is going to strengthen areas during the January transfer window. If you're able to bring in a creative player like Paul Pogba, it's just going to give another option in attack. Even if you had him for one season, you're not paying ridiculous transfer fee for him. And I'm pretty sure him knowing where he's coming from, that I won't say he'll take pretty much anything, but he's not in the strongest bargaining position in my opinion, given his age and the doping thing. So Arsenal are going to be busy in the January transfer window, especially with the injuries. I'm going to get into that now. So Gabriel Magalhaes apparently is going to be out for 2 weeks. You can see he released a picture, and in Spanish, Portuguese, I believe it says tudo das graças. I don't speak Portuguese, but apparently that's been translated to mean that in all things give thanks, and we know that comes from the word of God. Timber is apparently okay. When Timber came off against Liverpool, yes, we were worried, very worried. Apparently he's okay. During the press conference, Mikel Arteta was getting pressed like, is he injured? Is he injured? And he was very vague, like he just had to come off. I just believe it was game management. He was probably fatigued. We know he's probably not at 100% fitness at the moment, match fitness that is. So Timber is fine. And as we said, Gabriel Magalhaes out for 2 weeks at least, which is not too bad. Odegaard, like I said, he is now back on the grass. Not sure if he's going to be back before the internationals. He's actually not trained with the squad at the moment, so And other things that we want him back, but how match ready is he going to be? How match fit is he going to be? But he does do regular posts on Instagram, and he does look like he's working very, very hard to get back to fitness. So going back to Paul Pogba, what do you guys actually think in the comments? If you look on the screen, I'm actually looking at his last 50 appearances and where he was rated. Defensive midfielder, he was rated 7.1. Attacking on the left, 7. Defensive midfielder on the left, 7. And midfielder on the left, 7.3. 7.3 I like, sorry. So you can see he's very strong in the left-hand side of the field, and that is a place where we have struggled in for a while. He's going to be 32 in March. January transfer window, Paul Pogba. Let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.